co-founder of Dcoin. We have Matt with us. Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt, co-founder of Dcoin and Allegedly. Happy to be here.
All right, well, let's get to it. First question.
Well, I mean, how did you start off here in the first place? Like, what made you guys get here? Like, how did the concept of Dcoin even, boom?
How did Dcoin start, or where the concept came? From a personal viewpoint, from my a first-person shooter type view, I left Wall Street and that whole, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but that whole ecosystem is it's like, I don't know, Vietnamese food. You either really, really like it or you really, really don't. So I didn't. I came down here because my dad got sick, so I moved from New York to Florida and got bored and started going to the foreclosure auction, so pastime, and linked up with Charles again, kind of by chance, and then we started going to the auction together, sometimes purchasing together, sometimes, leveraging each other to get the other person a better deal. And we started noticing things like certain groups of people were getting hurt, taken advantage of, right? Like, unfortunately, for them, it's not just television, but I'll just use TV as an example. The TV makes real estate investing look really easy, right? You won't even get dirty flipping a house on TV. And they don't actually accurately portray the risks and pitfalls involved. So we watched a lot of people get hurt. And you want to just grab each one of them and save them. Be like, no, don't. Like, I'm sorry you lost all your money. That sucks, but stick it out. Real estate is the safest form of investment. It's the most profitable. Like, this is where you want to be. You don't want some stockbroker getting richer than you, trading your retirement. Like, this is where you need to be. And then that was, the market opportunity realization. Like, real estate, a phenomenal investment vehicle. It is the safest investment vehicle. Right? Charles is actually a little bit better at building building flips.
Really?
Right, and laying them out. Like, I like rental portfolios. They're like bonds. Like the residual everything. Like, you can build something and then it stays built for a very long time. He likes building things, and then when he's out of things to build, he wants to build another thing. Right? He's a tinker. So the profit margins the returns on flips are very, very, very high and very, soon. I think his average is 21% across, like, track record of like 100 and something.
That's pretty
flips.
Good.
Yeah, average of 20, and a flip takes him 3 months. I like rental portfolios, so you can, because they're risk averse, so they make great like retirement style investment vehicles, which is very close to what I was doing. So I was in my comfort zone. Nothing would leave this office that didn't do 17% a year. If it was less, then you would get yelled at by me, and it wouldn't leave, and you would go back to your office and stay till you found them a property that would. The highest performing hedge fund, this might be a little old, 2017 is when I read this, and then saw the award. Roku's fund, a hedge fund in London, broke records in 2017 as the highest performing general fund ever. Right? It did 13%. That's the best. That broke Wall Street records, 13%. Real estate is a better, safer place to be, but consumers have no access to it. Like, if I wanted to ask stock questions or bond questions, I can walk into a Charles Schwab, talk to a licensed person that doesn't have an agenda that'll stop me from doing dumb shit. I could walk in there and be like, hey, I want to sell all of this stock and I want to buy this. And that guy would be like, no, that's a terrible idea. You should not do that.
Right.
With real estate, they don't have that.
Right.
Right? There is not an advocacy organization that also is like a vehicle for them to invest. Like they can't. There isn't anything that they can that will help them invest, but also protect them. They can't like walk into a real estate brokerage like Century 21 and be like, I'm thinking of buying, this house as an investment property. The real estate agent's only making a commission. He's like, yes, that's a fantastic idea. We should go buy that right now. Right.
Right.
So there wasn't anybody kind of protecting them or allowing them to use real estate like they use other investment vehicles. So Charles and I recognized that opportunity, and we realized we only wanted to take commission from buyers. Right. So we would, if you're our client, right, when you sold your properties, we wouldn't take any commission. We would do all the work for free because we knew if you made money, A, you tell everybody you knew, and that's great for us.
Right.
But B, you would want to do it again. You would buy another property. And in that situation, the seller of the property, who is not a client of ours, that's who's paying our paychecks. That was paying a commission. So we did very, very, very well. It exploded. And then we had the, what you were talking about, like that moment where we created it. We had a very sad realization, like we could do this for the rest of our life, every single day, forever. And maybe we'd have all of Florida, not, only doing commission on one side, reducing commission, right? Maybe we'd have the Southeast or maybe the East Coast, right? But there's no way we could actually change nationwide how the real estate system works. It's impossible, right? We could literally work till we died and not fix it. And then we watched Filecoin, right? Because we were inspired by Bitcoin because it gets around this centralized organization that feels that it has the right to 6% of the most valuable thing you own, right? And we watched these ICOs come out of nowhere, come up with a game-changing idea, something that's going to change the world. And then the community just got behind them and catapulted them into reality. Somebody came up with a good idea and the community made it a reality. Right? That's something that never has been done before. You'd have to go to venture capital funds. They would take big chunks of your company and equity, and then they'd end up selling your company to Zillow because, they kept purchasing equity until they had enough board seats. We'd never seen anything like that before. To give you an idea, like our competition, Zillow spends $152 million every 60 days, every 2 months, right? $150 million every 2 months on marketing. Even if somebody did come up with a game changer, I don't want to say that we did. I don't want to say that it is a game changer. We are working every day to make sure it is, but I'm not one of those people that say like, yeah, we already did, we built it, so I've changed the world. Right. It takes hard work every day, and it's a living organism that you have to put work in every single day. So it's not changed yet, but we're working really hard, and we're not the ones that did the most heavy lifting. The community did. With the crypto community, if you build something and you bring it to people, this community will make sure it becomes a reality. We are the community of doers. Right? We're not the community of takers. We're not like, oh, well, I see this guy's got a great business idea, a great platform. Let me try and go build the same thing and throw a different name on it. We're the community that gets behind them, and whether it's with our capital, whether it's with our, word of mouth promotion, fanaticism, however a person contributes, they make sure that the token, the solution, the product becomes a reality and makes the change that they want to see. Our community takes ownership of things, right? Like, I don't know if I can't name a product that I get behind right? Like, there's nothing in my cupboard or in my refrigerator that I go make a point of telling everybody about, right? Or I, promote, or like, especially with protocols. Like, that's crazy. Not only can I promote this thing that I love, I can actually build onto it and make it better, right? I can't name anything else I know of that I can get behind. Like, I can get behind blockchain companies and solutions. Like, our community gives everything they have. They give their time, their capital, right? Their influence, if they're an influencer, right? Their connections, their network. We are a community of givers and doers. We give everything we have for other people's ideas, and we will make sure they become a success. It's really awesome.
I think that's what I love.
Special place.
That's good. I think that's one of the things that I love, even just in general about the crypto community and what they do and how people kind of like no definitely not, but it's that's important. I feel like a lot of businesses and a lot of people who have ideas, they just get sold off to these big companies, and it just becomes unrealistic. Like, people that want to get into acting, they think they have to sell their soul and sell their body into and you don't have to do that.
Well, they do, if they want to use the existing business model.
Right. And it's like, it's really interesting because you guys are one of the disruptors, like you said. The kind of like Netflix and Uber. They disrupted the original taxi industry and the original cable was getting out of control prices industry, and you guys you can disrupt that 6%, 8%, whatever this realtor's charging, kind of industry, where, because it's like, you're right, it's huge. People are always going to need a place to live. They're always going to need a place to buy, always going to need a place to shop. Like, it's property, and it's huge, and a lot of people don't understand that world. And it's really cool that you guys are stepping into that world and also embedding it into new technology, into blockchain technology. How did you guys necessarily pick blockchain over kind of having a traditional innovation kind of thing?
Because of the roadblocks that were in place. I don't know if Charles talked about the NAR at all, National Association of Realtors.
No.
Not it. That's his favorite soapbox. Oh man. Okay.
There's a lot in there.
There is a lot of real estate is very centralized. Right. What made us pick blockchain is we've watched a very similar entity is the banking industry.
Yeah.
Right. And we watch Bitcoin circumvent, right? Go around banks, make them irrelevant overnight, giving all the power back to the people. What Bitcoin did for banks was beautiful. Right. There's no more single person in control of my money that's going to charge me, 10%. Or actually, what's the name? Western Union's gotten to a bunch of hot water, but again, they didn't get in trouble. Right. Nobody got arrested. They didn't get any charges. They didn't have to pay any fines. They looked bad because they charged migrant workers in California 20% of their money to send that back. That's crazy. Yeah. So we watched that, and our organization is very similar. There is an organization that masquerades itself as a consumer advocacy organization. Right. The term realtor is a term that's coined by the National Association of Realtors. They say that they're a consumer protection agency, and they protect consumers and make real estate agents be ethical and pass a standard and a code. These people are the same people that have been brought up on charges, right, from the Department of Justice 3 times for price fixing. Oh. Right? So this association that you have to be a part of, right? If you're not, you don't get access to MLS.
Yeah.
And you don't get to actually be a real estate agent. Right? They're a lobbying organization. The reason that there's this 6% has stuck around this long, the reason there's 50 different states, 50 different real estate licenses, right? 50 different sets of real estate laws. It's not an accident. There's almost 5 million transactions a year in the U.S., and there's 1.5 million real estate agents. That means on average, you're getting 4 transactions a year. A real estate agent on average, because there's so many of them, gets 4 a year. If you're getting 4 deals a year, you've got skinny kids. Somebody is very hungry at your house, right? And the people that are the organization that's supposed to protect the real estate agents, they don't care because they get $1,200 to $1,500 every year from each of them. Mandatory. So what this consumer advocacy organization really is $1 billion a year, right? Lobbying organization.
Right.
Are you a homeowner? You're gonna be. Are you? Yeah. Awesome. Hopefully, it's gonna be an investment property, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Cool. You can't sell your own house now.
Really?
You can try.
What happens if I try?
You can put a sign out in the front of your yard that says for sale. All right. But 96% of Americans found their home on Zillow or Trulia, and the National Association of Realtors, who, by the way, gets paid from Zillow, right, and Trulia for the MLS information, that information that agents put in. Agents don't get any of that money. Agents do the work for free. Actually, no, they pay $1,000 a year.
Yeah.
And then the NAR takes that money and sells. So the NAR has all the house for sale information, all the listings, right? So they leveraged, right? And, well, I don't know if I can swear, they beat the shit out of Zillow. Until Zillow changed their terms and conditions 6 months ago very quietly, where unless you're a licensed realtor, so that a real estate license is not the same as being a realtor. A realtor is a term that they coined, right? For being a member of their union. It's a little fascist to me. It's really, it reminds me of, it's very similar to what some dude with a mustache did, but I'm not going to make that parallel, right? So you can have a real estate license and not be a realtor because you didn't give these people money yet. Right? And when you do, you get this term realtor that you can use. The Zillow terms and conditions have been changed to where only a person that's paid for, has a license and has paid the NAR money and is a realtor, quote unquote, can list a property on Zillow. So,
really?
And that is the place where 96% of Americans, existing homeowners and new homeowners, right, find their home. 96%. So yeah, you can sell your house yourself. You can try. You can put a sign in front of your yard, and that sign could say for sale, for rent, doesn't matter, for free. Right? But you can't actually sell it because 96% of Americans can't find it.
Right.
Because you're not allowed to put it, on the internet. And I don't mean the internet. Yes, you could put it on Craigslist. You could list your house for sale on Craigslist, but Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, that's all one company. It's called Realogy. All right. No, sorry. That's Zillow Group. All the real estate offices are another example of that scenario. Right? Century 21, Remax, Caldwell Banker, Sotheby's, some other one I'm forgetting. But literally every real estate office that a person, the consumer is, if I were to ask you, what's the name of a real estate agent company, what would you tell me? Caldwell Banker, Century 21,
Yeah, Century 21.
Remax.
Kelly, one of those.
Yeah. That's all the same company.
What do you mean by that?
It is the same company.
It's the same company.
It's all Realogy. Right.
Really?
They just have different trademarks. It's the food industry did it years ago. It's lying to consumers, is what it is. But they realized that, because what happens in a gold rush, a boom, is that everyone goes out there and everyone starts a business, everyone starts making money. Right. And then slowly things start consolidating. One guy makes more money than this guy, then he goes and buys that guy. Now he's really big, and he goes and buys until there's one person left. Right. And usually when that happens, the government steps in. So, that happened to Standard Oil, right? So you have the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts, right? They broke up Standard Oil into Mobil Exxon, right? Bell Telephone Company, right? They had to break that up into like Southern Bell, which is AT&T. They break up monopolies
Right.
So what companies started doing is realizing like, hey, we better keep it. We own everything. We better keep it quiet, right? We don't want to be too loud because then they're going to break us up like they did. Those other guys. So what they do is they start other brands, right? When you go down the grocery aisle, I'm not joking, 80% of what you see in each aisle is, 90% is the same company. They create different brands. It's all the same companies. And they give consumers the illusion of choice, right? They want you to think that you have a choice because then you felt that you've shopped around.